Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha with the evening news. The headlines. Centre asks states not to stop inter- and intrastate movement of people and goods during Unlock 3. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 74.69%. New feature added in Arogya Setu app to facilitate safe functioning of business and economy. Monsoon session of Uttar Pradesh State Legislature adjourned sine die today. And 10-day Ganeshotsav begins with installation of idols on Ganesh Chaturthi today. Union Home Secretary has written to all Chief Secretaries reminding them that there are no restrictions on interstate and intrastate movement of persons and goods. The letter draws attention of the states to Para 5 of Unlock 3 guidelines. This para clearly states that no separate permission, approval or e-permit will be required for such movement of persons and goods for cross-land border trade under treaties with neighbouring countries. The letter notes that, however, there are reports that local-level restrictions on movement are being imposed by various districts or states. The letter says such restrictions are creating problems in interstate movement of goods and services and are impacting supply chains, resulting in disruption in economic activity and employment. The Home Secretary said such restrictions amount to violation of guidelines issued by the Home Ministry under provisions of Disaster Management Act 2005. The letter requests that no restrictions be imposed and it should be ensured that Home Ministry guidelines are followed. States and Union Territories can avail the Common Eligibility Test CET to be conducted by the National Recruitment Agency NRA for job selection. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh has said the CET score could be shared with the recruiting agencies in the state and union territory administrations as well as public sector undertakings and also later on with the private sector. This, he said, would actually help the recruiting agencies, including the state and union territory administrations, to save the cost and time spent on recruitment while at the same time also be convenient and cost-effective for the young job aspirants. The minister said an arrangement in the form of Memorandum of Understanding could be put in place for using the CET score by these agencies and organizations. He informed that most of the chief ministers are also quite enthusiastic and favorable to adopt this reform.
The recovery rate from COVID-19 has improved further to reach 74.69% today. During the past 24 hours, 63,631 COVID patients have recovered. With this, a total of over 22,22,000 people have recovered in the country so far. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is at over 6,97,000. During the past 24 hours, 945 deaths were reported, taking the toll to 55,794. With a spike of 69,874 infections in a day, India's COVID-19 tally increased to 29,75,701. There are 6,97,330 active cases of the coronavirus infection in the country. The case fatality rate continues to show steady decline and now stands at 1.87%. India has crossed the milestone of conducting 10 lakh COVID-19 tests in a single day. The Health Ministry said during the past 24 hours, more than 10,23,000 people were tested. This has taken the cumulative tests to over 3,44 lakh. 10,23,836 samples were tested yesterday, the highest number done in a day so far. The Health Ministry said early identification through testing, prompt and effective treatment through supervised home isolation and quality medical care with innovative graded policy measures have resulted in almost 100% increase in recovered cases in the past 21 days. The Arogya Setu app has started a new technological solution in order to help businesses and the economy to start functioning while being safe. The new open API service will enable organizations to check the status of the Arogya Setu app of their employees and integrate it into its various work-from-home features. The open API service of Arogya Setu addresses the risk of COVID-19 infections and will assist businesses and the economy to return to normalcy. The new service can be availed by organizations and business entities which are registered in India with more than 50 employees. Organizations can easily check the health status of their employees on real-time basis using the new technology. Arogya Setu has been powering India's fight against COVID-19 since its launch on the 2nd of April this year. The app has now emerged as the most downloaded contact tracing app in the world with more than 15 crore users. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today inaugurated a 10-bedded makeshift hospital at the NDRF base in Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh. The hospital has been set up by the NDRF in collaboration with CSIR Constituent Laboratory, CSIR CBRI, Central Building Research Institute, Roorkee. The makeshift hospital is designed for patients to be provided a primary health facility with safety, security and a comfortable living environment. This fully air-conditioned, prefabricated makeshift hospital is equipped with various modern facilities like paramonitors, defibrillators and ECG machines. The hospital is planned to serve the purpose for the disaster stage, including for use in long pandemic or emergency situations. Speaking on the occasion, Dr. Harshvardhan said COVID-19 pandemic, which originated from China, has thrown a huge challenge to the people across the world. He said India took extremely serious steps from the beginning and developed an effective strategy to fight against this deadly virus from the 8th of January this year. He appreciated all departments of the Government of India for their contribution in effective management of the pandemic. Applauding the efforts of the NDRF, the minister said the NDRF has been striving hard to serve countrymen with full zeal and commitment. He congratulated the NDRF for their tremendous contribution in COVID pandemic management as well as disaster management. He said that the NDRF will soon get recognition from the United Nations.
The recovery rate of COVID patients in Delhi stands at 90.07% today. It continues to be the state with the highest recovery percentage in the country. The city recorded recovery of 1,230 patients in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of recovered patients till date to 1,44,138. With increased testing, the city has achieved the remarkable mark of conducting 74,334 corona tests per million of its population. A total of 1,412 new confirmed cases of coronavirus were reported in the national capital during the last 24 hours. With this, the total number of COVID cases in the city has reached 1,60,016. The Delhi government confirmed that 14 deaths have been reported in the last 24 hours, taking the total to 4,284. The total number of active cases in the city now stands at 11,594. In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you views of leading medical experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, Member Health in Niti Aayog, Dr. V.K. Paul urged everyone to follow social distancing in order to break the chain of transmission.
अपने बुजुर्गों को ख्याल रखना, अलग रखना, दूरी बनानी, लेकिन सोशली उनको, इमोशनली उनको दूर नहीं करना और इसी तरह से जो दूरी बनानी है अपने कोवर्कर के साथ में, जहां हम जा रहे हैं, जहां हम खड़े हो रहे हैं, लाइन में खड़े हो रहे हैं, शॉप पे हैं, वर्क प्लेस पे है, बहुत जरूरी है। और साथ साथ मैं ये भी याद दिलाऊंगा कि हमें बार बार अपने हाथ भी धोने हैं या हैंड को सैनिटाइज करना है।
Dr. Sanjay Pandey of Govind Vallabh Pant Hospital, Delhi, spoke about the use of masks, saying it is important to wear them while stepping outside one's home.
There is no treatment right now for coronavirus. It's very important to maintain the social distancing and the isolation. There are different guidelines and the WHO says that person should be wearing mask. There is no doubt about that.
The Jammu and Kashmir AIDS Control Society has formally launched an IEC campaign to sensitize religious leaders about their role in containing spread of COVID-19 by motivating people to strictly follow SOPs and guidelines issued by the government. The campaign, initiated on the directions of Atal Dallu, Financial Commissioner of Health and Medical Education Department, the first program was held for the Coordination Committee of Masjid, Sectors and Mohalla Jat Anjum Ground Bemina, Srinagar, Kashmir for the Muftis, Maulanas and Mohalla Presidents of District Srinagar, Kashmir.
In Meghalaya, another COVID-19 related death was registered today, taking the total fatality to 7 while 93 new cases were detected. Director of Health Services, Dr. Aman Var, said that 66 cases were from the East Khasi Hills District, 10 from West Khasi Hills District, 9 from West Garo Hills, 2 each from Ri-Bhoi and North Garo Hills District, and 4 from East Jaintia Hills District. He also informed that so far a total of 23,221 random testings have been done across the state and 397 have tested positive. So far the state has detected 1,035 active cases, 769 recoveries, while 7 have died. In Nagaland, 16 new cases of COVID-19 positive have been reported today, along with 92 recoveries. One death has been registered from Dimapur due to the infection. Informing in a tweet this evening, Health and Family Welfare Minister Mr. S. Pangyu Phom said 12 are confirmed from Kohima, 2 in Tuinsang, 1 each in Wokha and Longleng. He said out of 92 recoveries, 72 patients are from Kohima, 18 from Dimapur and 2 from Peren. In Manipur, 2 COVID-19 positive patients expired during the past 24 hours, taking the total fatality due to the pandemic to 22. Meanwhile, the recovery rate of COVID-19 positive patients has increased to 67.32%, with 194 persons discharged today from different COVID care centers after they were found free from coronavirus on the RT-PCR test. So far, Manipur has recorded total positive cases of 5,132 and out of this, 3,455 have fully recovered and have been discharged from the different COVID care centers. The number of active cases now is at 1,655.
In Madhya Pradesh, State Public Works Department Minister Gopal Bhargav has reported COVID-19 positive. He shared this information on his Twitter handle. Mr. Bhargav is the 6th member of the BJP cabinet to test positive. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan himself had tested positive for the infection in the last week of July and recovered after treatment. Earlier, Medical Education Minister Vishwas Sarang, State Cooperatives Minister Arvind Badhodia, Water Resources Minister Tulsi Ram Silawat, Higher Education Minister Mohan Yadav and Minister of State for Backward Class and Minority Welfare Ram Khilawan Patel had tested coronavirus positive. Kerala continues to report surge in COVID cases as 2,172 new cases were confirmed today, bringing relief. 1,292 recoveries were also reported today. The total active cases in Kerala rose to 19,538. Meanwhile, the death toll in the state due to COVID reached 218 as 15 more deaths were confirmed today. There are currently 1,80,249 people under observation across the state. Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, Dr. Kiran Bedi, has thanked the Government of India for responding to her plea to depute a central team to the Union Territory to help in COVID management. Earlier, she had urged the centre for the same and said that Puducherry requires the Government of India oversight and expertise in this regard. In response to the request, the Union Government has deputed a central team to Puducherry to assist the Health Department. As per the circular, a 3-member team has been deputed to Puducherry. The team will undertake visits to all districts and containment zones in Puducherry and review public health measures, infection prevention and control practices being implemented for COVID-19.
In Punjab, the Border Security Force has recovered all the 5 dead bodies of intruders during intensive search operations launched after cross-firing between Jawans on the Indo-Pak border. More from our correspondent.
BSF Deputy Inspector General Mahipal Yadav said where the Border Security Force has shot dead 5 intruders in crossfire along the India-Pakistan border in Tantan districts, BSF has recovered 1 AK-47 rifle, 2 magazines, 27 live rounds, 4 9mm pistols, 7 magazines and 109 live rounds, 9 packets containing more than 9 kg heroin, 2 mobile phones and Pak currency worth 610 rupees during search of place. He said in the morning, the Border Security Force Jawans after noticing the suspicious movement of intruders, asked them to stop, but the intruders fired at BSF troops, retaliated in self-defense, and intruders shot dead. Ashwini Kumar Sharma, AIR News, Chandigarh.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Centre asks states not to stop inter- and intrastate movement of people and goods during Unlock 3. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 74.69%. New feature added in Arogya Setu app to facilitate safe functioning of business and economy. Monsoon session of the Uttar Pradesh State Legislature adjourned sine die today, and 10-day Ganeshotsav begins with installation of idols on Ganesh Chaturthi today. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
A suspected ISIS operative arrested by the Delhi police following a brief exchange of fire had planned terror strikes in high footfall areas of the national capital. Briefing media this afternoon, Deputy Commissioner of Police Special Cell Pramod Singh Kushwaha said 2 pressure cooker IEDs were recovered from Mohammad Mustaqim Khan, alias Abu Yusuf, a resident of Balrampur in Uttar Pradesh. He was arrested by the special cell last night from the section of the Ridge Road between Dhola and Karol Bagh. Khan had planned a terror strike in the national capital on the 15th of August but could not do so due to heavy security arrangements. He had been under watch for the last year. Police said Khan was in touch with ISIS handlers who instructed him to plan terror strikes in India.
कल रात एक ISIS ऑपरेटिव को पकड़ा है एक ब्रीफ एक्सचेंज ऑफ फायर के पास। ये ब्रीफ एक्सचेंज ऑफ फायर धौलाकुआ रिज रोड जो है उस पर हुआ था, लेट नाइट में हुआ है। इसके पास से 2 प्रेशर कुकर IEDs मिली हैं और पता चला कि ये पिछले कई सालों से ISIS से कनेक्टेड था, डायरेक्टली उनके कमांडर्स के टच में था।
A Delhi police special team along with the arrested suspected ISIS terrorist Abu Yusuf reached Balrampur district of Uttar Pradesh today. The special team of Delhi police was investigating in Badhyabhai Sahi village of Balrampur district of Tarai region since morning.
The Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, has registered a case against a private borrower company based at Morena in Madhya Pradesh and others, including the managing director, promoter and director of the company and unknown others, on a complaint from SBI regarding bank fraud of over 938 crore rupees. It is alleged that the findings of the forensic audit indicated that the financials of the company while applying for loan facilities were inflated. It is further alleged that the loan amount was misappropriated through fraudulent diversion. Searches are being conducted today at Morena and Delhi at the premises of the accused. In Uttar Pradesh, the monsoon session of the State Legislative Assembly was adjourned sine die today after completing all agenda at one go in a day. The session, called during the corona pandemic on the 20th of August, was adjourned continuously for 2 consecutive days due to the death of sitting members. As per the Vidhan Sabha Secretariat, during the 3-day session, the business was conducted only for 4 hours and 30 minutes, out of which the House was adjourned for 25 minutes. As per the agenda, the House was slated to continue till Monday. The proceedings of the Uttar Pradesh Legislative Council were also adjourned sine die after completing the agenda scheduled for today.
A pair of gold-plated spectacles believed to have been worn by Mahatma Gandhi and presented as a gift in the 1900s have broken all records for a United Kingdom auction house by selling for 2.55 lakh rupees or £2,60,000. The glasses, which were dropped through the letterbox of East Bristol Auctions in Hanham, southwest England, 4 weeks ago, were estimated to fetch between £10,000 and £15,000. But the online bids for the lot kept multiplying to finally go under the hammer of the 6-figure sum. The unnamed new owner of the spectacles is an elderly man from Mangotsfield, South Gloucestershire, in southwest England, who will split the £2,60,000 with his daughter. The glasses are said to have been in the family of the vendor in England, also an elderly gentleman. He was told by his father that they were a gift to his uncle when he was working for British Petroleum in South Africa between 1910 and 1930. In Maharashtra, in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, where visiting pandals has become a difficult task, pandals have roped in technology so as to offer virtual darshan to the devotees by making use of social media platforms. The 10-day Ganeshotsav began today with the installation of clay idols of Lord Ganesh. Apart from common citizens, prominent personalities from politics and Bollywood too have installed the Ganesh idols. More in this report.
Many families are using various applications to connect with their family members and friends as the viral outbreak has restricted physical movements of people. On the first day of the festival, many people as well as prominent Ganesh pandals took to social media to send invitations for online aartis and consecration of idols. One of the famous Ganesh mandals, the GSB Ganpati Mandal in Mumbai, went live on various social media platforms to avoid crowding of devotees at the pandal. Meanwhile, Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, who too offered prayers along with his family after installing the idol of Lord Ganesha at his official residence, said people should not forget their social responsibility of wearing masks and avoiding crowding while welcoming Lord Ganesha. Thackeray also said he prayed to Lord Ganesha to rid the world of the coronavirus pandemic. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Tamil Nadu, Vinayaka Chaturthi has been celebrated with religious gaiety and traditional fervour. The devotees installed the Ganesh idols in their houses and paid obeisance by offering the traditional puja articles and fruits. Popular Ganesh temples in the state, including the Uchchipilayar temple in Trichy and Karpaga Vinayaka temple at Pillayarpatti in Shivaganga district, offered special pujas in view of the presiding deity in the famous places of worship. This year, the public installation of the Vinayaka idols are found largely missing due to the COVID restrictions. However, the Madras High Court has permitted immersion of individuals installed in their houses in water bodies on the culmination of the festival. In Karnataka, Ganesh festival is celebrated in Karnataka with festive zeal. However, due to the corona pandemic, restrictions are in place for erecting Ganesh pandals for public view. Only one pandal is allowed in a municipal ward in the cities, and at a given time, only 20 people are allowed to gather in at the pandals. There is a restriction also imposed in the submersion of the idols. The people have been asked to immerse the idol in their houses itself, and the public pandal idols are to be immersed at designated places after seeking permission from the authorities. Wearing of masks, social distancing and sanitization are also made compulsory at the pandals.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the advisor to the Lieutenant Governor K.K. Sharma today extended felicitations to the teachers from Jammu and Kashmir who have been selected for the prestigious National Award to Teachers 2020 announced by the Union Ministry of Education. In a message congratulating the teacher duo, the advisor said that the award given to them is the ratification of the good and outstanding work done by them in imparting education to the students and also being role models to the student community. The Jammu-Srinagar National Highway reopened today after remaining closed for the past 2 days owing to multiple landslides triggered by heavy rains. AIR correspondent reports that the highway was blocked at over a dozen places between Udhampur and Banihal on Thursday morning, leaving thousands of vehicles stranded. The highway was cleared for one-way traffic from Jammu to Srinagar around 10 a.m. Heavy rain lashed wide parts of Jammu and Kashmir over the past 2 days, triggering landslides and shooting stones from hillocks overlooking the highway at Pantial, Battery Chashma, Monkey Mode, Meher, Chandarkot, Sher Bibi Mom, Pasi, Ramsu, Digdol, Kela Mode, Marug and Trishul Mode.
In Madhya Pradesh, torrential rainfall has occurred at many places in the state since the past 3 days. The Met Department says that heavy to very heavy rains are likely at most places in the state during the next 24 hours. A report.
Most parts of the Madhya Pradesh have been facing continuous rain for the last few days. Due to heavy rain, rivers are in spat at many places and gates of many dams have to be opened. In most cities, including the capital Bhopal and Indore, life is suffering due to heavy rain. Rain has broken a 39-year-old record in Indore, while 652 mm rainfall has been recorded in Bhopal. Road connectivity between Bhopal and Jabalpur, Indore and Ahmedabad have been closed due to heavy rains. The situation is worse in rural areas. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan reviewed the condition of extreme rainfall in the state at a high-level meeting today and directed to make necessary arrangements to save the common people from the situation of waterlogging. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Bihar, the flood situation has further aggravated following discharge of 2.3 lakh cusecs of water from Indrapuri barrage in Tehri. Surge in the river Son attributed to continued discharge from Bansagar Dam in Madhya Pradesh due to torrential rain. Water level of Ganga is also increasing all along its course and is flowing above the danger mark. Surging water of the Ganga is engulfing fresh low-lying areas at Patna, Munger, Khagadia and Bhagalpur districts. People who are living in low-lying areas have been advised to move to higher places. There is no improvement in the flood condition in Saran and Gopalganj, by slightly improving at Darbhanga, Samastipur and Muzaffarpur. Rail traffic on the Darbhanga-Samastipur has been restored after 29 days. About 23 lakh people spread over 1,333 panchayats of 16 districts are reeling under the impact of floods. Villages of 130 blocks remained cut off from concerned district headquarters. Some parts of interior and coastal Odisha have received light to moderate rainfall during the past 24 hours. The major amount of rainfall recorded across the state varies from 12 centimeters at Telkoi in Keonjhar district to 1 centimeter at many other places. The Met Department has issued yellow warning of heavy rainfall at 1 or 2 places over the districts of Keonjhar, Sundargarh, Deogarh, Angul, Dhenkanal, Mayurbhanj, Kendrapada and Jagat Singhpur during the next 24 hours. Light to moderate rain is also indicated for many places over north and south coastal and south interior Odisha. Meanwhile, a fresh low pressure area is likely to develop over the North Bay of Bengal around the 24th of this month. Depending upon its formation and movement, fishermen have been advised against venturing into the sea along and off the Odisha coast and North Bay of Bengal from the 25th to the 27th of this month.
India has categorically rejected the reference to Jammu and Kashmir in the joint press release of the second round of China-Pakistan Foreign Ministers' strategic dialogue. In response to a media query, External Affairs Ministry spokesman Anurag Srivastava said Jammu and Kashmir is an integral and inalienable part of India and the country expects the parties concerned not to interfere in matters that are internal affairs of India. He also reiterated India's consistent position on the so-called China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. The spokesman said India has repeatedly conveyed its concerns to both China and Pakistan on the projects which are in the territory of India that has been illegally occupied by Pakistan. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. It will have a minimum temperature of around 26 degrees Celsius and maximum of 35 degrees. Mumbai will experience generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Minimum temperature will be 25 degrees, maximum will be around 29. Chennai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Temperature will hover between 27 and 36 degrees. Kolkata will witness generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature in the metropolis will be around 26 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be 32 degrees. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature will be 23 degrees in Jammu while maximum will be around 33. The city will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain, thunderstorm or dust storm. In Srinagar, minimum temperature will be around 17 degrees while the maximum will be 33. The city will have a mainly clear sky. Ladakh will have a mainly clear sky too. The temperature will hover between 14 and 32 degrees. In Gilgit, temperature will hover between 19 and 37 degrees Celsius. It will have a mainly clear sky. Muzaffarabad will witness a partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. The temperature will hover between 20 and 35 degrees. In Dehradun, the temperature will hover between 24 and 31 degrees. The city will experience thunderstorm with rain. In Chandigarh, there will be generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature will be 26, maximum around 30 degrees. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Centre asks states not to stop inter- and intrastate movement of people and goods during Unlock 3. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 74.69%. New feature added in Arogya Setu app to facilitate safe functioning of business and economy. Monsoon session of Uttar Pradesh State Legislature adjourned sine die today. And 10-day Ganeshotsav begins with installation of idols on Ganesh Chaturthi today. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.